Welcome to Tech Now for a special session with Russ Roberts on the SR&ED tax credit program. Russ is providing some background for a seminar that takes place today. And I guess I should recognize the efforts of the CRA. We've definitely seen a recommitment to improve communication and transparency. There are still some challenges. So Russ, before you put forward those questions to the CRA team, could you give us some guidance on what we need to watch in terms of the SR&ED program?
Thanks, John, and I apologize to everyone for not being in Mississauga this evening. It just isn't possible. Appreciate John taking the effort to put this together today. Anyway, where's this program at in terms of the IT sector and claimants that will be participating in this session? What we're hearing, and we tend to hear some of the worst experiences. In actual fact, the majority of the claims are going through fairly effectively without problems. But what is happening is somebody gets tied up in a review. The reviews are very difficult. So the big challenge for everybody is to understand what CRA is expecting in terms of what is claimed, what can be claimed, and how to support those claims. If you aren't prepared to with good, solid evidence, when a review takes place, there can be serious issues and nobody needs them.
Well, Russ, I think we've worked for many years. I know at least 3 attempts to try to get the guidance right. What's the appropriate IT claim? What's the challenge here? Is there something unique? Can you give us some insight into why it seems to be taking so long to get it right?
To a certain extent, it is the disconnect, John, between how software needs to be developed to be commercially successful. The timelines in it, but also the nature of software. It isn't simply a little solution here and there. It is a very large, comprehensive solution, platform, whatever you want to call it, that actually delivers communication of information. And the actual legislation, the actual concepts that the Department of Finance have put together focus much more on the fundamental technological issues that may exist in bringing those platforms up to speed. It does not focus straightforwardly on that platform itself, the commercial platform. It focuses on where these fundamental issues occur.
So building on that, if I'm claiming and having difficulties, or I'm claiming for the first time, do you have some tips, some best advice that you could provide a claimant at this point? How do you reduce the risks?
We have discussed this ourselves, you and I, several times, and working with our LinkedIn groups, we kind of have come up with a number of suggestions in what we're hearing. The first comment is, which I mentioned earlier, that the problems are occurring around the audits, the reviews. And it is particularly important to be prepared for those reviews and to understand what CRA's personnel are looking for in those reviews. There are a number of ways of getting at this. You can work with practitioners or individuals who have been currently filing and have experienced reviews, but that is critical. It can't be somebody who has no experience with current claiming practices and also with CRA's reviews currently. Or you can actually use, which I think can be very effective, some of the programs of CRA that are outlined in their presentation. For example, over the years, the Account Executive Program has been excellent. It has been used by a lot of larger firms where they have core technology groups developing a whole series and ongoing advancements in their technology platforms. And it works. Equally, the pre-claim project reviews process that they have created recently, and which is an improvement over the previous one, is a very interesting process or program in my mind. and it's an important one available to claimants. And finally, of course, if the first-time claimant advisory service is important if you're making a first-time claim. So there are a number of ways of getting at this.
Well, Russ, I know we started this conversation about the CRA's recommitment to improve communication and transparency. And I guess I'd just like to add that this interview and our work with the CTRA is trying to add to that education, because we want to see a program that works really well. I think we're going to end this segment and move into a separate segment dealing with specific questions that you have for the seminar today. So Russ, thanks for joining us, and we'll connect with you very soon.